Hi, I'm Rob Lagger. I'm one of the engagers here at Pockerley Waggonway at Beamish Museum. We're just going to go for a short ride through this wonderful Georgian landscape with Puffin Billy here. Right, so we've had the right away from the guard. So make sure everything's fine, make sure the gab handles are set, fireman's okay. Close the drain taps, got plenty of pressure as you can see. Give them a quick whistle. Release the brake. Open the regulator to let some steam into the cylinders. Quite stiff. And we're off. You can see the piston rising from the cylinder here. At the end of the stroke the gab handles change. So the gab handles are changing which side of the cylinder the steam's going into to push it up and down, or down and up, depending which way you want to go. So Puffin Billy is a replica built for the museum in 2005 by Alan Keith, the company Alan Keith that is. It's a replica of one of the oldest surviving steam locomotive in the world, the original Puffin Billy, which was built in late 1813 or perhaps early 1814 by William Headley at Wylam Colliery. It was built just to move coal wagons, so it wouldn't have taken passengers like we do today, but just take coal wagons. About 8 to 10 coal wagons at a time. The coal wagons were called chaldrons. Chaldron was a measurement, as a unit of measurement. It was a chaldron of coal, which, depending where you were, meant a different size, which was quite complicated. But basically in Newcastle, a chaldron was 5,300 weight, which works out at just over 2.5 tonnes of coal. They would take these from the pit, Wylam Colliery, down to the River Tyne at a place called Leamington, 5 miles down the track. From there, the coal was loaded onto a keel. It's sort of a big boat, holds about 20 tonnes of coal. That would then go down the rest of the River Tyne, down to the mouth of the Tyne. At the mouth of the Tyne, it would meet a sailing ship called a collier. They'd have to load it by, just men with shovels onto the sailing ship, which would then sail off down to London or, anywhere else the coal was being sold to. Puffin Billy and at least one other near identical engine called the Wylam Dilly, which also survives, it's up in Edinburgh, did this for nearly 50 years until the pit actually became exhausted and they had to close it. And Puffin Billy was presented to the Science Museum down in London, where it still remains today. So it's not a very fast engine, as you can see. We're probably going about the same sort of speed it would have done back in the day, about 3 or 4 miles an hour, maybe 5 miles an hour if it had a good bit of load behind it going slightly downhill, but not very fast. But it didn't need to be fast, just need to replace his horse that could take a smaller amount of coal. And as long as you sort of plod along down the track with plenty of coal wagons, then that's all it needs to do, really. So at the time Puffin Billy was built in the 1810s, horses were actually really, you might not think so today, but horses are a lot more expensive than running these. At the time we're fighting wars, we're fighting France, we're fighting the USA in 1813 and 1814 as well. Fighting all over the country, so horses, not fighting all over the world, so horses are really expensive, horse food's really expensive as well, so if you're a coal mine who are building these, you've got free coal, just use the coal that you're not going to sell. Water, you just get from the River Tyne or a stream nearby. So once you've built it, it's always get a bit of oil to keep the thing working and pay the men who are going to run it. It's pretty cheap and you can move a lot more than a horse in one go as well. So we've just come to the end of the track here. It's just a very short ride, just demonstrating what early railways were like. So I'll close off the regulator for the steam. And you can start to slow it with the gab handles by basically reversing the flow of the steam, but generally it just slows itself down to a stop anyway. So now I've come to a stop. The guard's whistled to say he's put his handbrake on. Just put mine on just to secure us. Open the drain taps to let out any steam so it doesn't build up and we sort of go off without us wanting to. So I'll change the gabs to go in the different direction. I can actually only change this one, and actually it's already been set because I've been using it to slow down. So that one's fine. That one's stuck on dead centre, so I can't do anything about it. So when we move off, I've only got the power of the one cylinder to get us moving until the other one starts to go off. Let's make sure the fireman's happy.
Yep.
Happy? Yep, fireman's happy, that's always good. So I'll give the guard a couple of whistles to let us know I want to head back. He's whistled to say he's happy, he's going to take the brakes off, giving us a green flag. Close the taps, take the brake off. And open the regulator, and hopefully, yep, it's going the way I want it to, and we'll head back. So it's just a very short ride just to sort of demonstrate what very, very early rail travel would like. Although of course Puffin Billy would have moved coal wagons, moved passengers here. So slightly more interest from the passengers than just moving lumps of coal around. Of course we have this fantastic view over the Georgian landscape here, recreated at Beamish. At the top of the hill we have of course one of the original features of the site, Pockerley, the old house on the right. which dates back to the 1400s, if potentially earlier, and the new house on the left, which dates back from the 1700s. In the bottom of the valley, we have Eston Church, from, well, Eston, oddly enough, recreated here and opened a few years ago. To the left of that, you have Joe the Quilter's Cottage, which was the first exhibit, part of remaking Beamish, to be opened, and that's coming up for 2 years this July. It's been opened, and I've been working here 3 years now, and I can't imagine what the place would look like without the church and the house being here. And of course, in the fields themselves, you have sort of typical pack horses that would have been moving goods around the country before the advent of the railways, and the very, very distinctive ridge and furrow system in the fields, the lumps and humps in the field there, which would be very typically used in agriculture at the time. And you can still see in a few traces around the country, but it's sort of flattened out over the years and they haven't ploughed it up and got rid of it. So you can hear Puffin Billy puffing away quite nicely. It wasn't originally called Puffin Billy. Puffin Billy was a nickname which stuck. It was originally named after someone's daughter, Elizabeth or Jane, I can't exactly remember which one. But the chap who built it, of course, William Headley, nicknamed for William, Billy, and apparently he had asthma. So the sound of this thing coughing away is apparently similar to the sound he used to make, so it soon got the nickname of Puffin Billy, and that's what's stuck for over 200 years now. So just coming back into the platform, you can see the Waggonway yard there with our recreated engine shed, partly based on the Timothy Hackworth works at Shildon, partly based on the Stockton Darlington Railway shed at Waskerley. Going past the water crane based on an early Stockton Darlington one. On the left, going past an old signal, which is apparently the oldest working railway signal in the world, which came from the Beamish Industrial Railway, which used to exist at the top of the hill, which you go past when you come into the Beamish Museum site. Just give a couple of quick whistles as a warning. So just slowing down as you come into the platform. Just shut off the regulator again. It should just roll to a halt, but try and give it a helping hand by doing that as well. We do have a proper brake system in case we do have air brakes, which of course the original wouldn't have had, but we have for safety, so just in case. We always have those as backup. The guard's blown his whistle to say he stops, he's put the handbrake on. I'm going to put my handbrake on to keep us secure once we're sat in here. Make sure everything's fine. So those are set for when we head off again. Open the drain taps, so again it's not going to build up pressure. The regulator's closed, so it shouldn't be going anywhere anyway. And I think I'll go for a cup of tea.